Real estate agents, are you struggling with the day-to-day grind, dialing for dollars, putting in hours of floor time with little to show for it? Are you looking for tips, tricks, and tactics to accelerate your career as an agent that will have you closing more homes, working with more clients, and earning more money than ever before? Hi, my name's Cliff Freeman, and I've spent the past 2 decades of my real estate career running one of the top brokerages in DFW and personally coaching over 1,000 high-performing real estate professionals across North America. I created this podcast to share the strategies and tactics you need to explode your real estate business. I guarantee it. All right, welcome everybody out there. We are live, Dallas, Texas, Lincoln Center. If you know the area, it's right near the tollway in LBJ in North Dallas, and we are super excited to be here. I've got C3 and Shotgun over here. How you doing, brother?
Doing great.
It's glad I'm sure, and we got an audience in here today too, which is fantastic. Yeah, it's good to see you, man. Well, we had I just got back in town from Houston, right? So we were down there for a little Rolling Stones action Saturday at NRG. And Travis, you familiar with the Rolling Stones at all?
You know what? I'm slightly familiar with I'm gonna try to take a stab at this. Is Steven Tyler the lead singer?
No, yeah, that's it. You got it. Hold on.
Right,
yeah, Steven Tyler. No, man, who's he with? Steven Tyler was.
I might have been close at least, maybe. I think he's Aerosmith or something.
Something like that. Yeah. So old Mick, 76 years old, man, and he's still strutting around like a peacock. Boy, I'll tell you, it was crazy. You know, we were talking. Hey, by the way, before we go off track here, I got to tell you, we have got some absolutely amazing killer agents out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and actually the Lake Norman area. And Shelley Johnson and Craig LePage are sitting by patiently here, and I'm so excited to have them on. They have a 12-agent team in Charlotte that does $85 million in transactions. We're going to introduce them here in just a minute. But Travis, back to bands. You know, you and I were talking earlier, and I had mentioned that I saw a concert a while back, and if you remember, there was a song called Lubbock, Texas in my rearview mirror. Do you remember that?
You know what? And you may have to refresh my memory on that.
Well, I can't. I'm not going to embarrass myself and hum a few bars, but it was done by a guy named Mac Davis, and Mac Davis was talking about his childhood, and he said, he says, you know, everybody was talking about his baby face when he was young, because he had this big round baby face, and he said it looked like a baby's butt with teeth, is what he said. So anyway, that was the Mac Davis story. All right, without further ado, all right, let's bring these rock star real estate agents on all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina. Glad to have you guys here. If you would, Craig LePage and Shelley Johnson. Welcome to the show, guys.
Welcome.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, what's going on?
Good.
Super happy to be here.
How are things there in Charlotte today?
It's a beautiful day out. We've got some great weather today. It's sunny and puffy white clouds, and it's probably about 85, 90 degrees, and kind of dry and beautiful.
Yeah, great weather to be selling real estate, right? I know you guys have been super busy this week. How many houses do you guys have under contract right now?
We probably have, I'd say, about 12.
About 12, and it's the first of the month. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
12 houses under contract, and it's the first of the month. That is amazing. Well, you guys are truly, I can't wait to dig in and really just unpack a huge trunk of value here for our audience, everybody out there listening live. And by the way, if you're listening live right now, please, if you want to put in the comments, if you have a question for me or C3 or Craig and Shelley, just type it into the comments section. We're watching that. And if you would also, if you're watching, show us a little love. Hit that like button a couple times. Let us know you're out there. Hit the heart button. Let us know you love us, and we really appreciate that. So, guys, let's do this. I want to kind of frame this whole thing about how Craig and Shelley got together. Would you take us back in time? Let's rewind here a little bit and tell us about how you two unbelievable people got together, because this is not a husband and wife team, guys. These are friends, business partners who are each married, have their own families, and I know you probably get that a lot. People think you guys are husband and wife, but tell us about how this whole thing got started.
Craig and I had both very strong businesses and had different strengths. So basically, we were looking, when I met Craig, it was really just out of trying to figure out how to build technology into my business. And that was something I was lacking in 2010, 2009. Knew that in our market, it was critical to get the buyers from like California and New York. And I knew that my website was basically a speck in the universe and I wasn't getting the exposure I needed. So I knew Craig had a really good background in that, and we became friends through that and mutually just helped each other. I have a big networking background. I love collaboration, and Craig does too, obviously, but we were able to take the strengths of each of our businesses and combine them and bring them together, and that really launched our real estate team. And we have the best team ever. These people they're the heart of our team, and that's really what our focus is. And we both have the same core values, able to bring that together. And both of our spouses are amazing, and they support us in everything we do and help us be successful in what we do every day.
Well, that's crazy. Well, Craig, how do you guys separate your duties? Who does what there? How do you define the areas of like management and leadership?
Well, as Shelley mentioned, we have two very different skill sets, and she's fantastic at building relationships and networking, and she focuses a lot on that part of it. And my background is more of the technology and exposure and getting the exposure and the marketing for the agents and for our listings and our clients. But together we know our roles, and then we overlap where it's needed really within the team. And everything comes down to relationships and personalities. And when you're running a team, it's a lot about personalities. So we know our agents, and we know who they are and what their needs are to the best of our abilities. And basically, there's a lot of agents that will lean on her more than me, and vice versa. And it's really worked out well. But most of all, we focus on the big tasks at hand, where our strengths are, and just divide and conquer.
We do a lot of commercial real estate too. We've gotten really heavy in that. And Craig and I have great builder relationships, developer relationships. So that just creates more opportunity for the team. So it's all about opportunity for everyone. And then that builds a great foundation with both of our skill sets.
Okay. Wow, that's outstanding. And how long have each of you been in real estate now?
I'm about 11 years.
Yeah, 2004, so I'm like 13, 14 years.
13, 14. What do you think? Should we take them back even further here? I think we're going to go back. Remember that first year in real estate? You guys remember that far back? Yeah. All right. Share it with the audience, because there's a lot of people watching who just got their real estate license or have been in business for a year. What was it like for you individually, your first year in business? How did you do? Did you kill it?
Go ahead.
I was fortunate. I came in 2004. So coming in 2004, the market was really strong. It was coming in to its own at around 2005-ish. So I came into a really good market, and I was fortunate because I had a lot of great relationships and people who trusted me. I was a project manager prior to this, and a lot of my business came straight out of my work environment. So people knew how I worked at work, and they just applied that. They're like, if she handles her clients and takes care of people the way she works with a lot of consumers, they thought that I could help them with their transactions. That was a trust that was really built. I was fortunate. And then, of course, I moved to North Carolina in 2008 and 9, didn't know a soul. And there's about 12,000 realtors here. So it was completely starting fresh and with basically ground zero again. But it was where we wanted to live.
Yeah. Well, with me, I got my license the end of 2006, right into 2007. And the market in 2007 in Charlotte was on fire. The downturn happened a little bit late here in Charlotte. So I watched a lot of people make a whole lot of money. I did not really have my feet, grounded yet. I was still trying to build my business in that time. So I did evaluate what the successful people were doing. I learned a lot of what to do, and I also learned a lot of what not to do. But the most important thing I did is I think my whole technology and marketing background was kind of self-taught. I mean, that's my love, that's my passion. So I started doing something that no one else was doing at the time. And I would recommend, if you're an agent starting out right now, look at what the landscape is and don't do what everybody else is doing. Everybody's afraid to do video. So get out there and do video, because you'll be ahead of the game. And back then, what I did is I would just go in my car, and there were no smartphones. I had a digital camera, and I would just drive around, and I literally would get myself lost in the Charlotte market, and I would learn the market. I would learn what neighborhoods were where, what price points there were, what builders were in there. I would talk to the builders, talk about their product. I would take pictures at the time of all of those neighborhoods, and then I would come back at home at night and I'd write about what I saw today in a blog. And then I would take my website and I would copy the URL and search that website for homes, and then put that link in the bottom of the blog. And then I would drive leads to myself. So I was lead generating and building market knowledge at the same time. And then I quickly became known on the internet as the internet grew in more popularity. And I was getting all these leads, and I basically created my own, perception in people's minds of who I was before I was even there. And that was really helpful. So the bottom line is, try and do something that no one else is doing. And at the same time, you could repackage that information that you're doing. So if you don't have a lot of business right now, go learn the market. Take video of certain things and post it on your website or on Facebook, and become the expert in your area, and people will flock to you.
Yeah, that's
You're
really
doing something different.
Yeah, Craig. I mean, you nailed it there. It's so important in this day and age, because consumers have access at their fingertips to the same information that we have. You go to realtor.com or whatever, and you can find out just as much about the market as a realtor. So the key to differentiate yourself, which is what I'm hearing you say, is that you've got to establish yourself as an expert. You got to get to that level where you can add value back to the consumer. Is that a fair assessment of what you're saying here?
Yeah, 100%. And you are an expert. If you have knowledge that other people don't have, you're more of an expert than they are. So they're going to look to you for that information. So you can package that information and that knowledge in so many different ways. And you can also have an intelligent conversation when you do finally get to talk to that lead. You can give them options of, here's 5 different neighborhoods that have golf courses and the amenities that you're looking for and a price point. So there's so much value in that. And while you have the time, if you're just starting your business, that's the best time to do that. And then document it by writing a blog or putting it on your website. Cliff, you made a very good point about the public has a lot of information about homes at their fingertips. So the one, they can get homes anywhere. So don't call them and say, I'm going to set up a custom home search for you, because they can get that anywhere. So if they're on your website and they're looking at homes, try to respond to them with some type of value, whether it is like, hey, I saw you were looking in this neighborhood. Here's 3 other neighborhoods that are like that. That neighborhood is right next to a mixed use neighborhood as well, which everybody loves. Here's some pictures of that and a link and so forth. So paint a picture of lifestyle. Shelley and I always talk about lifestyle. These people are moving usually from somewhere else, and they're trying to understand what it's going to be like to live there. So paint that picture above and beyond just homes and properties.
Right. Great point. It is a lifestyle change. People want to know, and sometimes we run into trouble because they find a house and they want the house before they really understand the Charlotte area or the market or the neighborhoods and that sort of thing. Well, I know that educating your clients is super important, but I want to now shift gears a little bit. I want to talk about your team. You got 12 top agents that work for you. How much time do you spend on training and educating and getting their skill set up? What does a week look like on the LePage Johnson team?
So we have our team meetings and things like that. We also, every week on Thursdays, we offer training from not just Craig and I, but outside agents in our market that are specialists on that topic. So they get to hear different perspective on how to do the business, share things like what Craig was sharing earlier. A lot of people don't get that in other brokerages, and it's been fun to expand our training and help people be able to be the best agent they possibly can be. So sometimes we have 2 to 3 classes a week in our office. It just depends on the week, and making sure we have good, relevant content that's important to them.
Well, we moved our team about 2 years ago to eXp Realty, and what we have found, it gave us an opportunity to collaborate with other agents in our area, and now all of those agents join together, and like Shelley was saying, we all share our specialties in a calendar of education in the Charlotte area, and we all take turns teaching what we're best at, and that's so our agents jump in those classes as well. And then from our team standpoint, I mean, we're all very busy, but we almost like educate each other on the run. It's a lot of situation-based education as well.
On the job training. Yeah, I get it. So what you just said is really profound, because in my 30 years in the business, there isn't teams helping other teams in the same market. It's very cutthroat, very competitive. And what you've just described is kind of a new paradigm. I mean, this is really unheard of in the real estate business, of you getting together with competitors in your own market and working to solve common problems. What is it? Tell me about this move that you made to eXp. I mean, you guys you've blown it up. I mean, Charlotte is, I don't know what the market share is. I think Rich Tomasini or someone put out some stats the other day that showed that eXp was the #1 brokerage now in the Charlotte area. But what's going on? How is this all possible? What's going on here?
We're getting top agents joining, so it's top teams. And it was interesting. We had an event where we had a few hundred people there, and a group of people got in front of the room. And what I realized is I watched some of the top people in the company. I knew those people, or Craig and I knew those people from afar. We would see them at restaurants, say, "Hey, how are you doing?" But now when we're together, we collaborate and help each other and support each other. And it's a totally different mindset. I've never, like you said, never seen anything like it in real estate ever. And it's been fun, even like Crossmarket, people that have nothing to do with Craig and I's organization. He and I both were on calls this morning helping other people across the country. And it's been fun to link arms with people that are really strong. The bottom line is there's plenty of business for anybody who wants to build a business. So I think that removing that fear of that silo effect that sometimes I call it, or Craig and I call it, is removing that silo and broadening your mind. I think that Brent Gove said it best when he said this company will expand your mind, and it just changes the whole dynamic of everything that we're doing in our real estate business. We're better agents, we're doing more volume, our client agents are happier, we're getting better training for them, so in the world as well as locally. So I think that's really neat that we have that local collaboration as well as the national collaboration with agents in California and Canada and the United Kingdom.
This is interesting because fear, I think, comes from having a mindset of scarcity. And you just said there are enough transactions to support everybody in the area, in the Charlotte area. But working together is different. It's like some people don't believe there's enough grains of sand on the beach. Okay, that somehow or another the beaches are going to go away and there'll be no place to go hang out in the sun. It's the mindset here that I'm picking up on that I think is really key, and that's that you guys have a mindset of abundance, and you're coming from a position of contribution, okay, as opposed to give, what's in it for me, what's in it for me, what's in it for me. This is what can I do to help you be more successful. Can you tell me a little bit about how the culture on your team specifically has changed as you move to this new platform?
For sure. That's a really great point, Cliff, and it has changed dramatically. So, real estate is a hamster wheel, as we always say. It's a job. So if you hop off that hamster wheel, you stop making money. So what eXp has done is given, all our agents the same opportunity as everybody, us, the other people around that are in eXp, and they have the same opportunities with their relationships that they have around the region and the country and beyond. And they, by having that and spreading that, the opportunity that's available to us that was never available at any other brokerage we were at, other people are like, this is a no-brainer. I want to come aboard, and this is, I love the energy. I love how people share everything, the collaboration, and that gives that agent the opportunity to grow a secondary or ancillary income, which is a business, and a business is making money while you're not working. So compared to a job where you have to work in order to make that money. So everybody has that opportunity now. So to go back to your question, it's a lot easier for an agent. Sometimes they have 2 deals and 3 deals going, and maybe one falls apart. And, that's the whole life of a realtor is the stress of keeping it together. And it's a month to month. Every time you finish that deal, you hit reset and you go and you got to basically go get a new job every month. So it's very stressful. And that opportunity of revenue share in the EXP model has really made it a lot easier for people to focus on their families and have more time and take time off if they want. And God forbid, if someone's ill, they can cater to them. It just gives them that safety valve, and sky's the limit as much as they want to build it.
Well, you guys are an example of a large team that came over, and I said this when I was talking with Brent Gove last week, but I hear the common thread I hear when I talk to team leaders, great team leaders like yourselves, about why they made the decision. It was because it would be better for their agents. And Richard Branson, is famous for saying, if you take care of your employees, you don't have to worry about the customer because your employees will take care of the customer. So I think that's really been proven out here, and it really is. I mean, all of us have been with different brokerages, and it wasn't until this platform, this EXP thing came about, that we were able to really help our agents self-actualize and really be the best that they can be. So that's great to hear. Go ahead, Shelley.
I said, and they're excited too, which is fun. Like the excitement level on our team is just explosive, and what happens is we're doing more business with that because of that excitement. It doesn't feel like work anymore. We're having more collaboration, and we're enjoying what we're doing for our clients even more than we were before. People would say sometimes, well, does it take away from your real estate business? Absolutely not. We've doubled our volume since we joined. So, and our team is doing better than it's ever done, and we have more opportunity and bigger opportunities, and it's been very fun.
So the $85 million, is that your projection for 2019, or was that what you did last year?
Last year we did 78 million. This year we'll hit 85-ish, maybe 90 if we really push it.
Okay.
But that will be this year's.
I mean, those are incredible numbers. I don't know how that's just amazing.
Not us.
Yeah. And you still have lives, which is great. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Cliff, I'll say, one of the most important things, like Shelley said, since we've joined EXP, we've doubled our production, and that is true. And, it's not obviously because of the name EXP and tools or anything like that. Of course, the culture and the connections has really helped us strive to the next level. But what Shelley and I did is, when the first couple months after we joined, we started to see like, wow, we've got this direct deposit money coming in for, spreading the word of this awesome opportunity. So that was money we never had before. So what we decided to do is take a percentage or a part of that money and reinvest it back into our team and, try some different things, instead of taking the profit at the end of the year and trying to say, all right, let's risk some of our profit on trying to beat our numbers from last year, which is traditional business. Now we had this no risk money. The worst thing that could have happened is we wasted it and we got no result out of it. But we took some bigger risks than we normally would have because there was no risk in the money. And that's how we doubled our production. So our net went way up. So we we invested some and we went way up in net from that. So the revenue share was a big part of that because there was no risk in it.
And we're able to work on our business, not in it as much. Correct. Which is a big piece of it, because when you're in it, you can't reflect on what you need to do tomorrow or in a week or a month or 2 years from now or 5 years or however long. it's given us the time to be able to actually do a better job of planning and strategizing for everybody.
Yeah. And an example of that's a key point as well, because without that opportunity of that money coming in, like Shelley said, now we work on the business instead of in the business every day. So an example of that would be some of the opportunities that we've had. We meet with land developers and we meet with builders, and we work together to try and go get neighborhoods rather than to go get one listing. So if we get a neighborhood, we can give 15 to 30 listings to our team, which feeds them, on top of what they're already doing. And that's really helped catapult us to the next level.
And we've been able to invest in marketing, really strong marketing plan for our team that's, gets our branding and them out there. We've always put our agents before us, so you'll barely ever see any marketing with Craig and I on it, because we want the agents that are doing the volume to be able to get the recognition for it.
Wow.
We're just a conduit of that.
That's awesome. You guys you just have hearts of gold, and I know you're involved in a lot of charitable things. Before we get to that, because I do want the audience to know what gracious people you are and how you like to help others. But let's talk a little bit, because for most team leaders in the traditional, let's go to the Red Book, the MREA model, where you have buyers agents and they work your buyer leads exclusively and they're not allowed to do anything else. One of the biggest fears is retention on a team. And for a lot of people, if you hire talent and they're a buyer agent, then what's a good buyer agent going to do once they figure out how your magic works? They're going to leave your team and go off and be a competitor.
Right.
How have you guys sort of, now that you're with EXP, does it bother you that agents could leave your team and go off and be independent producers and do great, by themselves?
It actually does just the opposite. We want people to thrive and be happy. I think Craig and I have always had that mentality, but I think what has happened even better with this company is now, if that agent does arrive in our team and they do want to go do their own thing, we can embrace that and help them and put energy toward their goal, rather than worry about letting them go and then saying, okay, well, if you need something, let me know. Now we really have invested in their success and helping them build. If their dream is to build a team or to move across the country, they don't lose what they built here. When I left Maryland, I lost what I built in Maryland to move to Charlotte, North Carolina. And that was something I was willing to do for a lifestyle that I was desiring. And I think that whether they move across the country, a family member gets sick, or they decide to build some massive team, or they just want to be by themselves and do their own thing, regardless, now they're still with us in our organization. They may not be on LePage Johnson Realty Group, but they're part of our organization, and they call us, and they would before, but now it's even more. They come in our office and they see us, and it's not just they're gone. So we love that piece of it.
It basically just feeds into the culture of the model of EXP. They're so blown away, they're scared to tell you, hey, I'm going to leave. I want to do my own thing. And we're we would be what do you need? I want to help you out, and let's help you grow your thing. And that's so powerful from a cultural standpoint that they announce that everywhere. It's this is an amazing thing. I can't believe they're helping me, and everybody is so helpful, and all hands on deck. And then that just spreads throughout the industry, and people want to be a part of something bigger and something that's moving forward and something that's not against each other. So I think that just feeds itself,
My mom said something interesting to me on the phone, because she's, a stockholder, of course, in our company. And she said to me, Shelley, she says, you guys have created, your company is so amazing, because I share with her all the time, and she's not a realtor. But she's if every company ran like that, she's how amazing would that be? Our world would just be a better place if that's how corporate America was, because she came from a corporate environment. So when my mom said that to me, it made me feel really good, because of course she's giving Craig and I a lot of credit, but it's but it's really all of us together, and she hears us going to this event and how we're sharing and collaborating, and it's exciting for our parents. Even Craig's mom will be can't believe this company is so amazing.
Well, your mom is a smart lady, I can tell you right now. And, you know, we're all blessed. We've all been very blessed in the short time that we've been here where we are. And I want to, guys, just take a minute and share with the audience a little bit. We just got a minute or two left here, but tell them a little bit about the charitable work that you and Craig are involved in.
We both are we love our community, and we want to do great things for our community. And it starts with our agents, and then and of course the community too. But we love being able to help children and young people in our lives be able to get where they want to go in life and find a path. I mean, we have a lot of young people in our world right now who are taking that direction. It's amazing to be mentors for them in small ways. And then we've done stuff with Make-A-Wish, and we do a lot of Humane Society type of work too with our furry friends. And and a big one for us is the LLS, which is the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, because one of our dear friends passed away before we left our old company, and his wife is just amazing. She's taken that, I mean, she's made her husband very, very proud. They had 2 small children, so we're very involved with that. You want to share a little bit? Because he was one of Craig's really good friends.
No, I mean, that just kind of is true, close to my heart. That was one of my best friends. We lost him to cancer, and it just really feels good to give back and try and fight that awful disease. And so we're very involved in that as well.
Well, you guys are assets to your community, you're assets to your team members, you're assets to our company. And I'm just excited that I can call you good friends, and I'm excited to come visit you in September. I'll be there. I think it's the 24th of September. I'm coming to Charlotte. You guys have been gracious enough to invite me to come there and maybe speak a little bit at a big event that you guys are having, and I'm very excited to be there, and C3 will be there with me. And
I was going to ask if C3 was coming.
Awesome. We're so excited for that. It's going to be an awesome event.
Yeah.
We usually can pack a room, and I'm sure we'll pack it with the talent that's coming for sure.
Well, excellent. Craig and Shelley, thank you so much. If anybody had a question that they wanted to ask you after they've seen the show today, what's the best way for somebody, one of our viewers, to get a hold of you guys?
I would say for me, it's text. And my phone number is 704-618-2412.
And mine's 704-609-8077. Just shoot us a text, and we'll get a call.
That's being available for people, isn't it?
Transparency.
Yeah, transparency. Well, you guys are wonderful. Hey, we send you all the love from Dallas up to Charlotte. Wish you a great rest of your week, and God bless you guys for just being amazing people, and we need more people like you in this world. That's all I can say. All right,
one second.
C3,
we want to thank you.
Hey, my pleasure, you guys.
Yes,
so glad
we're here because of you. We appreciate that, Cliff.
Hey, listen, we're all in this together. It's putting our little fires together and make one big fire, as we say around here, right?
Yep.
All right,
amazing.
Guys. For sure. Well, thank you so much. Don't forget, if you'd like to get notified of upcoming episodes, you can go to www.getcliffsnotes.com, and we've got some exciting assets down there that in the vault that you can check out, some coaching nuggets and notes from other shows, and excited to have Craig and Shelley. What just amazing people, man. It just touches my heart to know that these guys are working with us there in Charlotte. But in the meantime, we want to wish the rest of you out there in video land a great rest of your week. I hope you enjoyed the show, and check back with us next week. We've got a very special guest coming up. You won't want to miss it, and we'll either see you, how does it go?
At the top
or from the top. There you go. All right, guys.
See ya.